Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys my setup at home to charge my electric car. So as you may know, I have the BZ4X. So I just want to show you guys how I charge the car at home, what are the different ways of charging the BZ4X, and all the little settings that you can actually set in the car, and also how to use the mobile device with the Toyota application as well. To set up some settings. This is also applicable for most of the Solteras as well, since they're basically the same model, and possibly the new Lexus as well. So let me show you guys what's my setup at home. So here it is, guys, my BZ4X. I always park it in the garage and always reverse park it as well. Much easier to get out in the morning. So the BZ4X charging port is at the front. So let me just show you guys where it is. It is right here. So it's on the front driver side, and you have two port. Well, it's not really two port, but just for the cause, I'll name it as two port. So you have the AC charging here. This is what you can charge on the 120 and 240. So those you can charge at home. So that's the one you can use the regular plug on your regular household outlet. For those in North America, that's where you can charge it. And also the 240, where you need a level 2 charger, and then you can charge it as well. Then afterwards, you have the DC fast charging. So why DC fast charging? Well, it's direct current. So those usually you have no installation at home. Those are the fast chargers, as we call it, that you see throughout highways, on the road, basically all other places where you need to fast charge your car so you can be on your way for long trips. So for today's purposes, let's try to focus on how you would charge your BZ4X at home. So this is the only port you'll be opening up. So how I do it is I installed a new charger here. I did have an old charger, which is the Grizzly, which was installed all the way in the back. So let me just show you guys that first, actually. So I do have a 1450 NEMA plug here. So the 1450 NEMA plug is, if you have a level 2 charger where you can plug in the 1450 plug, this can be used. So this is on a 6-gauge wire on, let's show you guys, for the car charger, it is on a 60 ampere circuit. So that's what it is on. So it's a 6-gauge, and you can pretty much have any level 2 chargers with the 1450 plug. And as you might see, I already had one here, which was a Grizzly before, with the gun holder here. I since sold that charger, not because I didn't like it. It's pretty much in Quebec, every time you buy an electric car or a plug-in car, you get a $600 subsidy. So I bought this car, so I had the chance to buy a new charger. So I took the advantage and bought the new charger and sold the old one because I didn't need it. The old one was used to charge my old car, which was a RAV4 Prime. So since then, I moved on to the new charger there. The new one is a wall box. So even for the wall box, you have two different models. You have the plug-in model, I would say. So the ones you have to plug in on an outlet, like the one I had in the back with the 1450, or you have the hardwire version, which is, as you can see, the wire goes directly into the wall box. What are the differences? Well, the hardwire, you can go up to 48 amperes, which is the difference, because the 1450 plug, the maximum you can go usually is 40 amperes. That's what it's rated for. But anything over 40, usually have to do hardwire, so 48, that's what I chose. But do I need this? No, I don't, because the BZ4X, the one right here, when you use this port, which is the level 1 and level 2 port, so which is for the AC, you can only go up to 6.6 kilowatt because the charger is in the car, and the car can only take up to 6.6 kilowatt. If you do a quick math, that means you cannot go over 32 amperes. So there's no point on having at 48 amperes charger if the car can only take 32 amperes. But I still decided to go with this because I'm future-proofing my installation. I'm not going to be doing the installation every single time I buy an EV car. So might as well get what's the highest out there right now. And I just went with that and I installed it. So even if my current BZ4X doesn't take it, maybe a future model will. And as a matter of fact, Toyota did announce that newer models of the BZ4X will come with a 11 kilowatt charger. So anyone who has a 48 amperes can benefit of the new onboard charger. So that's for the level 2. You also have the cable that comes with the car. So let me show you that. This is the cable that comes with the car. As you guys may see, I haven't opened it. So this will be the first time I actually open it because I don't have a need for it. So this is the cable. As you can see, you have the gun here, the one that plugs into the AC port charger. And this is the regular outlet that you can plug into any household outlet in North America. So this is 120 or 110, some people may call it. And this will charge your car in approximately 50 hours. So when I say 50 hours, that means from 0 to 100% in 50 hours, which barely never happens. No one really drives till 0. It can happen, but not the majority of the case. And versus the level 2 chargers, the one I have at the front there, that will charge the car from 0 to 100 in approximately 10 hours. So that's the biggest difference between a level 1 charger and a level 2. One last thing, guys, I forgot to mention. There are so many level 2 chargers out there. I chose this one because I want to do power sharing. I'm just going to explain you what power sharing is. I will eventually get another EV, and I want to make sure that I don't want to run another wire all the way back to the panel. I just want to use the same circuit and run another charger outside because I'll be most probably parking my other EV outside. So having a charger, level 2 charger that does power sharing, you will control the flow of electricity and adjust the demand of amperage accordingly if there's 2 EVs plugged in or 1 EV plugged in. So the Wallbox does it in Canada. There's also, I believe, the Techno VE, EV Duty, and probably some others I'm missing. But I went with this one because I like the design of it and also the fact that you can do power sharing. And for those who live in colder climates, you also want to make sure that the cables don't get stiff. So there's a lot of different models that have been tested in Canada. Techno VE, I believe, is good. EV Duty is good. Wallbox, I've heard that it's okay, but it's not the best. But that's what you want to take into account if you're in colder climate, that the cable doesn't get rigid, because that will be a struggle if you're parking outside and you have to charge your car outside and you have to take your cable every single day and it might be frozen, and you don't want that happening all the time. So do your research. So this is the one I got. A lot of other recommendations, guys. I believe Grizzly is also good, like I mentioned. EV Duty, Techno VE, but those are for Canada. I know Grizzly does ship in the United States as well. Wallbox as well. So yeah, I'll put a few links. You guys can look them up. But that's one of the reasons why I got the Wallbox. So another charger that I carry in the car, which I barely use, but I got it for pretty cheap, is a portable charger. So I have a portable charger here. Instead of using the one that came with the car, let me just show you guys here. This is the other portable charger I have. So this is, I bought it for, I believe, like $300. So the advantage of this one is you can switch the plug. So you can have a NEMA 1450, or you can have the regular house plug. So advantage is whenever you travel, let's say you go to a cottage, let's say you go somewhere and you want to charge your car and there's no charger but there's a plug, you have the possibility of using this charger to charge your car. And this goes to this one. as you can see. This is an NEMA of 1450. So this will charge as a level 2 charger. So this you will get a full charge in 10 hours. Versus this one, when you plug into a regular household, it will take 50 hours. So that's why I bought this charger, because it can do both, and it's portable, and I can just, as you can see, it's underneath the cargo here, and it's much easier to transport than a big charger, level 2 charger. So these portable ones are pretty amazing. The second one here is an adapter. So I'll put the video of my other video. Sorry guys, I'm trying to open this at the same time. I already made a video for this one. This is an adapter so you can charge at a Tesla charger. So there's a lot of hotels out there that don't always have chargers for our kind of car. A lot of them have for Tesla chargers, destination chargers. So these are very useful because you can plug in, you can use this adapter so you can use a Tesla destination charger on a BZ4X or any type of cars that takes J1772 port. So this is really useful. So I'll just I'll put in the video on top or at the bottom on, I've made tests on this, and I have another video where I show you guys how to use this. Very useful when you're traveling and you're going to hotels. Back to the port here. So we've covered AC charging, which is level 1, level 2 charging, level 3 charging, which is not really level 3, DC fast charging. I've had another video where I've done most of my tests on DC fast charging speeds. So I'll put that link somewhere on the screen. This one is pretty much, like I said, you will be not charging this at home with these DC fast chargers. This is only for external chargers. The main difference is this is your level 1 and level 2 AC port. So that means there's electricity that comes from the charger and goes to your car, and the car converts the AC current to direct current so it can charge the battery. Versus when you're using DC fast charging, the electricity is already converted by the charger, and we're just pushing through the electricity directly to the battery, bypassing the actual onboard charger, because you won't be needing any conversion. It's already converted to DC. So hence why we call this DC fast charging. All right, now that we're done with this, let's go inside and I'll show you guys a little bit the settings that we have for the BZ4X. Once you start the car, so that means you're in ready mode. Sorry guys, I think it's not zooming. Yeah, so you're in ready mode and you're parked and you're not moving, obviously. Now you'll have a full access to the settings of the car. The first settings you can do is set up customization here. So you go to settings here, vehicle customize, and you have an option here, a set of settings for charging. So you have 4 different settings here. You can set the charging current for the AC charging. So you can do 8 amperes, 16 amperes, or maximum, which is around 32 amperes. Why would you set anything below maximum? So for some households who do not have, let's say, the capacity or the infrastructure, the capability of charging more than 16 amperes or 8 amperes, and they really need to reduce the maximum capacity of the vehicle, which is rare, but it can happen, you have the possibility of slowing it down here. Let's say you have a circuit where you can only go up to 16 amperes or just 8 amperes. Well, you have the option here to limit it through the car's setting. So that's one option you have. You also have the possibility of setting the charge limit for the car. Do you want the car to be fully charged? 90, 80, 70, and the lowest you can go, I believe, is 50%. A lot of folks like to not fully charge their car because of things they've read on the internet, how battery don't last longer. If they charge at 80%, it's better. Toyota has done their homework. They're already limiting the charge by not having the full capacity of the battery available for drivers. They already have a reserve. So as far as you should know, I think you should start charging at full, because there's already a reserve. There's already a minimum and maximum that Toyota is already considering, and you're not using the full 72.4 or 71 kilowatt of the battery. The usable part is around, I believe, 64. So Toyota is going to make some changes coming soon, but you don't have to worry about it, because charging full is good enough. If you really are worried about the battery degrading, you can set it to 80%, 70%, 60%, up to you. But that will take a lot of years. So if you're planning on keeping your car for 10 years, 15 years, then go ahead. You can put it at 80%. Or else, don't worry about it. Put it at full, and you should be good enough. I'm not going to go about all the chemistry of the battery. I can go on forever about this, but I'm just giving you a general sense of what you should be doing as a regular EV user. The connector, this is really interesting because I get a lot of questions about this. You have 3 options. You have auto lock, so that means when you plug in the charger and start charging, you will lock the car. I mean, not lock the car, sorry. You will lock the handle. So that means when it's charging, you won't be able to pull it out. And even when it's done charging, the lock will stay on. So that means you will not be able to unplug your car, because it will be locked, and the charger will be locked as well. So that's not always useful if you're charging at home, because you don't want it to be locked. What I find more interesting is the second option, is auto lock and unlock. So that means it will lock when you plug it in, but it will unlock once it's done charging. So much more convenient in this case. So once it's done charging, it'll unlock, and so you can just come in the morning and just unplug it without having to unlock the car. The only way here for this option for you to take out the gun is to unlock the car. So I get that question every single time. Folks come to me, hey, I cannot take my plug out, it's jammed. It's not jammed, it's locked, so you just have to press on your key fob unlock and it'll work. And this one off means there's nothing going to happen. You can plug in, take it out, and there's never going to be a lock on it. Afterwards is the DC charging. You have the possibility of limiting the DC fast charging here to 75 kilowatt or 50 kilowatt. So this might be different depending on the model you have. For the all-wheel drive of the BZ4X, it's not the Panasonic battery, it's the CATL batteries. The CATL battery is capped at 100 kilowatt charging, hence why the options might be different here. So for those who have the front-wheel drive, I believe you have another option, which is maybe 100 kilowatt or 125. I'm not sure. I don't have those that model, but at least for the all-wheel drive models, this would be the option you will have here. You can change this if you want, but I've done so many tests for DC fast charging. This car is already pretty slow without the battery preconditioning, so I suggest you leave it at maximum here, and you should be good. The next options you have is in the charging schedule. You also have the possibility, so you have to press in this little car icon, and you have the charging schedule here. I don't put any schedule because I don't need to have one, but those who do have dynamic pricing with your electricity provider, your hydro provider, whichever, if you do have preferential rate depending on the times that you should be charging the an EV, you have the possibility of doing it here without having a smart charger like I do. So this one here, you have a few possibilities. You can start a set time, so that means like the charge will start at this time. Or you have the other option here, which is more interesting in my opinion, is you can put a departure time. So departure time means the vehicle will calculate how much time it needs to actually fully charge the car, or according to the settings you set, let's say 80% or 60%, and it will do the calculation and start charging the car accordingly, so you can have a departure time. So let's say here I put 6 a.m. and my car is, let's say, at 80%, and I still have that 20% to charge. The car is not going to start charging when I plug it in. It will wait until maybe, let's say, 4 a.m. and it's going to start charging the car at 4 a.m. and finish charging a little before 6 a.m. so you can leave by 6 a.m. with a fully charged car. This has some advantages because your battery will be warmer at a better optimal temperature in winter. So that is a benefit for you, for those who live in colder temperature, especially here in Canada, in Montreal. This could be beneficial. Not for me because I'm already in a garage, guys. It's already heated. Not really beneficial for me, but for some it could be. But at the same time, you can also put a start time. So let's say you don't want to start charging before 9 o'clock. So let's say I just go here. So even if you're leaving at 6 a.m., I don't want the car to start charging before 9 p.m. because my rate will be too high. So you have the possibility of booting both. So it will start charging, but only after 9 p.m. and accordingly to my departure at 6 a.m. And you can also repeat this depending on the days you want. If you don't want it to charge on the weekend, you have the possibility to. And here you can choose this. I have no schedule, guys. I just leave it as it is. It starts charging when I plug it in, and that's good enough for me. So you also have the same settings or a little more on the dashboard as well. So you do have to press the back button here. So once you press the back one here, you'll have different options. So you want to go to, let me just show you here the main option here. Sorry, I believe it's not showing up. Oh, sorry, I just had to press here. Yeah, so you want to go to settings here. So once you're in settings, you want to go to vehicle settings. You have to long press vehicle settings. And once you have here, you have a few options here. So the first one here is the charging settings. And you have the same thing here. So you have the charging schedule, exactly like we saw on the main screen there. Then you have the charging current. So this is for the AC charging. So same options, max 16 and 8. Then you have the charging limit. So full 90, 80, like I mentioned before. And the lowest you can go is 50. So I'm putting back at full. You have the connector locked as well. Same option. The DC charging power as well. So as you can see, same options. And the other one here is the battery cooler. So you have the option to turn on or off the battery cooler. So the battery cooler is for usually for the summer. So when your battery is too hot, it cools the battery. Usually there is also for the battery heating, but I don't see the option here. I know on my RAV4 Prime I had it, but maybe it's on by default. So yeah, so if it's on by default, this is the option you want to turn on by default as well. The battery cooler is useful in summer. So I believe that's what it is. Those are all the settings you can find in the BZ4X. So you'll find it in the screen here, and also one option, extra option here, which is the battery cooler. So the other place you can actually see more information about charge and having a few settings is in the Toyota app. Once you're in the app, you have information about your range and the percentage of your battery. This is the only place where you can see the percentage of the battery, guys. Here you only have the estimated range, no percentage, and here you have the percentage plus the estimated range. As of now, this is the only place. Toyota did announce that they will be displaying it in the dashboard, but not yet. So here you see that you have 40%, 151 kilometers without the heating, the HVAC or anything. And here at the bottom, you have the possibility of creating a schedule. So let's press that. And you're shown a little bit about almost the same settings that you have in the car. So you can start a start time schedule, and you can also have an end time schedule. And you can also have off-peak hours. So like I mentioned, if you have a certain program and you have dynamic pricing for your electricity at home, you have the option of actually having an end time here. So once you press off-peak here, I think there's an end time here and the start time. Let me just double check here. Interesting. I think it just disables it. Anyways, I don't really play around with these settings, but I just want to show you guys that you have the possibility of actually setting up some schedule in the app as well. And last application, guys, this is the application I have for my wall box, the Pulsar Plus. That's the one you see there. Here, as you can see, I have my home charger here. I can press on this, and I'll have also a bunch of options. As you can see, it confirms that I can charge up to 48 amperes, and I have also the possibility here to change the different amperes here of charge. I'm just going to leave it at max here, 48. And I have the possibility of creating also here a schedule. So obviously, if you do have a smart charger, level 2 charger, don't set a schedule in your car and set a schedule here. It's going to get all screwed up. So what you want to do is try to stick to one place where you have schedule and stick to that. It'll be much easier. Most of the times, it'll be easier with your smart charger here to set up a schedule. Toyota is not always intuitive, so if you want to avoid going into the car or using the Toyota app, if you do have a level 2 charger and you can do scheduling, opt in for that. I do have also here the different chargers as well, so I'm just going to go here. My charger doesn't give you all the information, but it gives you some kind of information, so I'm just going to show you guys here. So these are all my sessions that I had. It shows me how much I charged, how long it took, and a rough estimate of how much it cost me or where I live. So I usually have to put in how much it costs per kilowatt, and then afterwards it shows you the total cost for you. It's useful at the end of the year if you want to see how much you actually spend charging at home, because obviously you'll be also charging outside. But most of the chargers are home. I mean, you'll know how much you spend, or roughly how much you spend, and how much your bill is going up as well, because you have an EV. That's it, folks, for today. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, comments about this video, please write them down in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer all of them. If you have any suggestions of other videos I should be doing or products I should be testing for the BZ4X, please let me know as well. And also, if you have the time, please subscribe and like this video as well. Subscribe to my channel, sorry. And also, if you want to click the bell notification, you'll be notified for any future videos I publish as well. So this is the setup I have at home, guys. It doesn't have to be exactly like this for you. You can choose any setup you want. For some people, level 1 charger is plenty enough. Here in Quebec, we have the opportunity, and we're lucky to have subsidies to buy EVs. We usually get around $12,000 from the provincial and the federal subsidies together. And we also get $600 for the chargers as well. So hence why it makes more sense for us to buy these chargers and install them. It's just more practical as well, but doesn't have to be the same for you. You can also ask, I believe, your hydro company, your electricity supplier. Sometimes they do have programs or subsidies available depending where you live. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.